What did you do to this person with the King of Cups? You have this person wrapped around your finger at this point. They are totally spellbound by you. This might even be somebody that's like, I think this person put a spell on me because I have fallen deep. I am feeling a lot of ways towards them, and it is new, it is unusual, but it feels so good. This is somebody that wants to dive in all the way with you. They want the full package of romance. They want you to kind of show them all you are capable of as far as love and affection. This is somebody that is equally yoked. They can match you romantic action for romantic action, sweet sentimentality for sweet sentimentality. This is somebody that looks at you and they see like the radiance of love itself emanating, glowing from you. It is drawing them in very intensely at this particular point in time. This is somebody that's like, I don't want to take things slow. I am already so certain that I'm completely hooked on you. I'm completely addicted to you. I am completely drawn to you. And this is somebody that almost might be telling themselves, like, I don't usually get this way with people. I don't get this way this quickly. This might be somebody even that in the past had kind of like equated sort of love with being disempowered, like love as weakness. And so this is somebody that historically had not really trusted their heart. When their heart had told them to go for people or go for situations, they always second guess that. They double checked with their intuition. This might have been somebody that kind of overthought things or talked themselves out of good situations. They might have missed out on several blessings in their lifetime, romantically speaking, but it's something where it's almost like playing it safe felt to be the best option for them. And you've blown the doors completely off of that armor, of that kind of like guardedness around this person's heart, just by being yourself, just by showing up as you, and they are all about it. We have the moon. Yeah, so this is definitely somebody, again, that is just like mesmerized by you. When you talk, this person, almost like your voice kind of lulls this person. Your voice is like a lullaby. It quiets their fears. They find a lot of reassurance through the way that you phrase things, through the way in which you put a lot of focus or concentration on kind of like the words that you are speaking, the topics that you are discussing with them, aspects about yourself, who you are as a person, your wants, needs, and desires that you have chosen to share with them. All of that is something that feels right. It feels like something that they are just curious to know more. Tell me more about you is an energy coming through with this. So this might even be something they have said to you specifically. Tell me more about you, and then they just sit there in this space of active listening. That for a lot of you, this could be totally different from people that you've encountered in the past that listened just to kind of like wait for their turn to sort of add something in, waiting for their turn to respond. This is somebody that it feels like is you're having the opposite effect on this person. Like I could just sit and listen to you and absorb everything that you have to say because it feels right to get to know you more. It feels right to build this familiarity with you. It feels right for you to express yourself, to share things about who you are, and all of it is resonating completely with me. We also have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is somebody that wants to continue to invest in this connection. This is somebody that wants to continue to show up in the material world for you. This is not somebody that wants to linger long in like fantasy land. Yeah, they are liking kind of indulging in those fantasies, in those kind of like, adult sort of thoughts, those spicy sort of thoughts towards you. But they also see that there's a lot to work with in terms of like a real relationship that is possible. This is something where they're facing that kind of energy of like, I'm feeling some kind of way about you. I'm feeling very deeply and I'm feeling very intensely. And they're seeing this as kind of like a cue or an indicator to them, like a green light to leap on this opportunity with you, to not wait around, almost like not allow themselves to trip themselves up by that energy of overthinking. This is somebody that's like, the moment feels right, so I want to continue to lean in further. The experiences that we have with one another, really affect me very positively and very profoundly on an emotional level, on an actual level. I like spending time with you. This could be like somebody who's really busy, and yet time spent with you is not almost like, okay, let me find some way to sort of fit you into my schedule, or feeling like it's a drain or like a time waster. This is instead something that if they end up talking to you longer than they expected, or hanging out with you longer than they'd expected, or more kind of like frequently than they even, have time for, if they've had to sort of cut other plans out, or, cancel plans with like other people in their life, they've had to, maybe stay up past their bedtime to talk longer to you, on the phone, or, on the chat, something like that. This is something that it's well worth it. It's well worth, kind of showing up with a lack of sleep the next day to work. This is somebody that is like, yeah, I will move things around in my schedule in order to make sure that I make time for you. I don't just like wait for the stars to align or fit you in where it's convenient, but I want to make time for this situation moving forward. And they feel that that's a really good investment of their time, of their focus, of their energy, of their effort, is where you're at right now. And kind of just like sitting in this space and kind of allowing you to share of yourself with them. We also have the Ten of Pentacles. So it feels like this person is very loyal to the idea of what can happen between the two of you moving forward. This is somebody that wants to continue to move at a brisk pace with you, a progressive pace with you. This is somebody that wants to put in the work. They want to put in the effort, little by little, to progress forward from where the two of you are to a place where it would be very reasonable to have like long-term conversations. What are we? Where is this relationship headed? And not just where it's like open-ended questions, where they're like, I don't know, I need time to think about it. This is somebody that has a lot of certainty inside, that kind of like, when you give them the signal that you're ready to kind of take things to the next level, this is somebody that will definitely take the reins and kind of steer this situation towards that. This is also somebody that might surprise you by taking that initiative to bring that up. That could be something that could be a change of pace compared to people you dealt with in the past, where you had to kind of chase that answer. You had to kind of back people into a corner and be like, so what are we? You had to give ultimatums. Maybe you had to exercise tough love and actually like hold firm into certain boundaries of people you dealt with before that were inconsistent, that, were giving you the energy of confusion, hot, cold energy. This is somebody that is the polar opposite of that. This is somebody that it feels like is going to take all the guesswork out as far as their intentions are concerned. Like if they haven't already expressed these things, this person is already sort of like feeling into that space. Like, okay, what would be the best time to kind of have that big conversation? What would be the best time to allow my heart to nudge me in that direction of, there are things that we need to establish between the two of us, like ground rules that even need to be redefined between the two of us, because I'm excited about what can happen next. I see you as a very, quality human being, as a person that I like spending time with. I want to have more time to spend with you. I want to have like a right to be jealous about other people that might give you attention. I want to have all those kind of rights and privileges of a boyfriend, of a girlfriend, of somebody that you're seeing very consistently. And so this is somebody that it feels like knows that certain kind of like conversations or things need to happen in order for more closeness in a defined way to happen between the two of you, and they're totally on board with that. We also have Judgment. Yeah, so you have awakened something within this person that refuses to go back to sleep. This is a very powerful emotional energy within them. This is somebody that's like, I will do whatever it takes in order to, either be patient and wait for things to, unfold naturally between the two of us, where it feels like it's right. It feels like it would be very like sweet or very special to have that like conversation, to ask you to be mine officially or whatever that would look like. But this is also somebody that is like, I'm also not going to allow this situation to just sort of stagnate. We just sort of sit there wondering. I don't want you to have any unnecessary worry or confusion about the fact that I'm like really into you. I'm really into the way that you make me feel. I'm really into what you have shared about yourself as a person. I'm really into the idea of what can happen next between the two of us. Because again, this is somebody, it feels like that they often kind of mute that sort of like emotional energy, and this is somebody that like lives in their head. They are overly logical, they overthink, they often kind of like talk themselves out of opportunities. Mostly it feels like in love, because of a sense of like, I want to get it right, I don't want to waste my time, I don't want to waste other people's time. They have learned somewhere along the line that their heart was not always the best judge of like character or what was right for them. In this situation with you, though, it's like that kind of vetting system. It's not like they're not using discernment. It's not like they're not taking things at face value, but it just feels right to like lean further into this, to allow the heart to have more of a say in their decisions moving forward than has typically been the case. This might be something that's even very surprising for this person. It's like their heart and the emotional body has kind of spoken up in this situation like, hey, don't mess this up. Don't overthink this. Don't get into a place of kind of like, okay, well, things need to happen in a very linear fashion. And so even though I'm feeling a whole lot of emotions towards this person, I'm not going to allow that to kind of sway me off my path. I'm not going to allow that to, kind of like sweep me off my feet or, cause me to jump in too deep with something that I haven't kind of like checked it out. I haven't sort of, sat in this energy of like thinking about it from all these different angles before taking steps forward. This is somebody that feels very comfortable with the idea of like leaping towards you and then looking around at the beauty that can be experienced in that sort of like deeper emotional connection. We also have the Lovers. Yeah, so this is almost an energy of like their heart and their head are in unison. They choose you. Like all of this person chooses all of you. This is somebody that is very excited about kind of what that choice means. Something that has been done very quietly inside of themselves, and how it feels like that is rippling out, or it's translating out into something that you're almost able to kind of like pick up on or feel into with this person. You might have sensed that there's like an intensity within their energy that wasn't there before. There's a softness, almost like a glow in their eyes whenever they see you, or whenever you're kind of like talking about things, where it's almost like they might look like they're in a daze, or kind of they got love in their eyes. And that's something that is not a person that is like tuning you out or is bored or is like checked out. This is something where they're just kind of like, if you could hear this person's internal monologue when they are just in this position of like witnessing you, this is somebody that's just like, wow, how did I get so lucky to encounter somebody like this? Wow, like this person is interested in me. This beautiful creature, this kind of exquisite human being wants to give me the time of day, is kind of like sharing parts of themselves, is creating a sense of almost like emotional comfort inside of me in a way that is very new, that is very unnatural for how I've kind of chosen to sort of direct the course of my romantic dealings up to this point in time. And instead of being afraid, instead of questioning that, instead of feeling very skeptical, it's kind of like, it feels like something I'm on board with. It feels like something that is in accordance with my highest good. It feels like it is sent from on high. They see you as like a divine blessing. You're the right person at the right time. And this is somebody that wants to seize that moment and continue to, kind of move according to that idea. Sort of like, this is right here and now. So what do we have to do in order to continue to kind of follow that course with one another of, it continues to be the right time. We continue to be the right people for one another. We also have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is somebody that really celebrates you as you are. This is somebody that's like, I wouldn't change a thing about you. I find everything to be so pleasing. I find even the aspects of you that are a mystery that you've hidden from me, that you haven't revealed to me yet. That is something that I deeply respect and cherish. This is something that this person almost feels like every little bit about yourself that you share or that you reveal, even things about you that are very like surprising, very contradictory to like a first impression, or kind of just like deeper layers of the details of who you are as a person, subtleties, even like quirks that have kind of like slipped out about you or that you've shared with this person. Anything where it's like you've been in a position where you just had to like laugh at yourself, or maybe you're sharing bits of like your backstory, like really intense lore, and the ways in which you've kind of like moved beyond, whatever those experiences are, into this version of you in the here and now. This person is like, wow, you are the full package. You are an amazing person. I feel so lucky to have somebody like you in my life, to have encountered someone like you, just in general. And there's a romantic potential between the two of us. We're developing connection with one another. There's like an openness of feelings that have been expressed. There are deeper feelings that have come online for me, and I'm not afraid to show those. This all feels so right, so properly positioned for this person at this time in their life. This is somebody, it feels like, that sees you not just as somebody who's like, I want you or I desire you, but it's like you fulfill certain needs inside of me that were very hard to define, very hard to find fulfillment in, all within one person. There may be like little aspects about you that are certain kind of like aspects that had been fulfilled with previous partners, or even sort of idealized things that they never really experienced embodied in a romantic person. But it was like a little bit from this person, then there was a little bit in this relationship, and then it sort of touched on that in this other circumstance. But it's like there are aspects about you that cover all those bases all in one, and even things they hadn't thought to sort of think of before. That's like your wish fulfillment kind of like exponentially multiplied for this person. Yeah, we also have Ace of Swords. So this is definitely somebody that sees that this is like a true love connection. This has the greatest potential for success of anyone that they have met in a long time, anyone they've dated recently. This is something where if this person had like other options, or, they were just kind of like not really invested in the idea of, at this chapter of their life, in this season of their life, they were going to find deep and meaningful connection, romantic connection. They were kind of just, neutral about things. Like, if I meet someone, I meet someone. If we hit it off, we hit it off. If it progresses forward, great. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to break my stride from whatever else I have going on in my life. This is somebody that has totally kind of like, they have melted in your presence. You really have this person like wrapped around your finger, but that is not something that brings up fear. There's almost this energy of like, I trust you. I trust myself being in this vulnerable position. I give you my heart because you feel like someone that is trustworthy with that. It feels right to continue to lean into this. And as their heart space is getting louder about that, it almost feels like the mind, that overthinking tendency, has kind of been lulled into the space of like, yeah, go for it. This feels like a really great opportunity. This feels like a really great experience. You feel like a really great person to write a new sort of love story with, something that is out of the ordinary, something that is very different from anything that they've ever known before. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.